Part 1. The Discovery. Nothing in her career as a paranormal investigator had prepared her for what she found at the House of Lost Souls. Sarah was known for her bravery and her desire to explore the unknown, but this case was going to test even her limits. The house had been empty for decades, a towering mansion on the outskirts of a small forgotten town. Rumors about the house were disturbing. It was said to be cursed, that the former owners had disappeared under mysterious circumstances, and that their souls still roamed the rooms. Sarah, along with her paranormal investigation team, arrived at the house at dusk. The structure stood majestic, but weathered by time and neglect. Broken windows looked out to the outside world like empty eyes. As they entered the house, a shiver ran down Sarah's back. The air was charged with a sense of oppression, as if the house itself was trying to suffocate her. Her team began setting up cameras and audio recorders as Sarah explored the rooms. In the living room, she found furniture covered in dusty sheets and portraits of an unknown family hanging on the walls. One picture in particular caught her attention. It showed a happy family on the front porch of the house, smiling at the camera. Sarah felt the eyes of the mother in the photo watching her sadly. As she moved on, the lights began to flicker and whispers filled the air. Incomprehensible, chilling whispers that seemed to whisper from the shadows. Sarah continued her exploration, feeling like she was constantly being watched. On the second floor, she found a room that appeared to be the former master bedroom. The bed was unmade and covered in dust, as if someone had fled in a hurry. On the nightstand, she found an open diary. As she read the yellowed pages, she realized they were the words of a child who lived in the house decades ago. He spoke of voices in the night, of shadows moving in the corners of the room, and of a constant fear that haunted him. Part 2. The Investigation. Night fell quickly, and the team began the paranormal investigation. They set up cameras in different rooms and began asking questions out loud, trying to make contact with any entities that might be present. EMF meters began to flicker and audio recorders picked up eerie whispers. The team sensed a presence in the living room, as if someone else was there with them. "Is anyone here?" asked Sarah aloud. The answer came in the form of a chilling whisper. "Yes." The team continued to ask questions, trying to get more information about the souls who seemed trapped in the house. They discovered that the family that had lived there decades before had suffered unimaginable tragedies. The mother had died in childbirth, the father had died in an accident, and the child had disappeared in the nearby forest. Voices in the house became more intense and distressed. EMF meters spiked and lights flickered violently. The team was terrified, but Sarah was determined to continue the investigation. Part 3. The Descent into Darkness. As the night progressed, the team decided to hold a Ouija board session in the living room. They sat around the table and placed their hands on the pointer. They began to ask questions aloud, hoping to get answers from the entities present. The pointer began to move, answering their questions in an unsettling manner. The entities seemed to be angry and desperate, begging for help to cross to the other side. Sarah sensed they were in danger, but she couldn't stop investigating. Suddenly, the doors to the living room slammed shut, trapping the team in the room. The pointer on the Ouija board began to move frantically, spelling out words in an unknown language. The team tried to open the doors, but they were sealed shut as if someone or something didn't want them to leave. The lights flickered and the room was filled with eerie shadows. A whispering, anguished voice filled the room. "Help us! Free us!" Sarah felt a tightness in her chest and a choking sensation. The pointer on the Ouija board stopped on a letter, forming a word: diary. Part 4. The Truth Revealed. The team ran back to the master bedroom and found the journal Sarah had seen earlier. They opened it and began to read the words written by the boy. They discovered that the boy had witnessed his mother's death during childbirth and had been abandoned by his father in the nearby woods. He spent years alone in the house, facing the darkness and the voices that tormented him. The boy had tried to communicate with the souls trapped in the house through the Ouija board, but instead of helping them cross over to the other side, he had angered the entities. The voices in the house had become more intense and distressed, trapping the child in a cycle of suffering. Sarah felt tears in her eyes as she read the boy's words. She realized that the only way to help the trapped souls was to find the boy's original journal and put an end to his suffering. Part 5. The Resolution. The team searched the entire house, but could not find the boy's original diary. The pressure in the room became unbearable, and the shadows seemed to close in around them. Finally, in a room hidden behind a wooden panel, they found the boy's diary. They took it and began to read the last words written by him. "I'm going to join Mom in heaven." The lights went out completely, and the team felt a presence around them. But this time, The voices were soft and quiet. "Thank you," the voices whispered. When the lights came back on, the pressure in the room was gone. The team had released the souls trapped in the House of Lost Souls. The house was no longer haunted, and peace finally reigned within. Sarah and her team left the house, knowing they had helped the souls find the peace they had been seeking for decades. The forgotten town would never speak of the cursed house again, but Sarah would always remember the case of the House of Lost Souls, a story of suffering and redemption that had changed her life forever.